when these people do their satanic rituals, and these major players in this global cult, they're big time into Satanism, been writing about this in detail for a long time. And then you look back and to the ancients who were sacrificing people to the gods. And then you look at the Greek gods, Zeus and all the others. Then you look at the New Age concept of the Great White Brotherhood, which is a hierarchy of basically master souls. And you look at that from a one step back point of view, and you see they're all talking about the same thing. So who are these gods that people worship? Who are these gods they make sacrifices to? They are the demonic consciousness in all its different forms, in the lower level of this astral dimension, which in frequency terms is so close to this one, but not close enough for us to see it. And so, when they're making sacrifices to the gods, they are, and they're doing their rituals to the gods, they are interacting with this non-human level in the lower astral, which is ultimately orchestrating the simulation and orchestrating human society. So if we go back to the global cult, the global cult can be symbolized, and I'm talking about that operates in the world of the seen, and its impact becoming more and more obvious, not least since the COVID hoax was played. You can symbolize it very accurately as like a spider's web. Think of a spider's web around the planet. And in the center of the spider's web is the spider. Now, ultimately, that spider are these lower fourth dimensional, lower astral, quote, gods, actually, bunch of prats. And the strands in the web immediately around the spider are the most exclusive secret societies. They will have the biggest picture of all the secret societies of what the hell's going on and what's behind it. So they will be directly interacting with these gods.
Without knowing they're gods.
Oh no, they know what they're doing.
Know.
Okay. Yeah, but I'll come to that too, because
so a few thousand people know they're gods.
Yeah, those gods, quote gods in this lower astral, they also impact upon this reality through certain people. The whole process of possession goes back to the ancient world. They've been talking about possession since the ancient world. I've seen possessed people. I've seen them. I've seen what happens to them. They are completely taken over by another consciousness, another state of awareness. And if they're taken over by this demonic consciousness, and I've seen it, then you see a totally transformed person. So a lot of the people that have become now more and more well known for their manipulation of human society, they are actually just vehicles for these lower astral, quote, gods. So you have the spider, you have the web, and each strand in the web is a secret society, a semi-secret group, or a government agency, Silicon Valley, World Health Organization in the world of the seen. So you've got the agenda for humanity being driven by this non-human force. You've got then the web within our reality that its job is to make that agenda happen. So immediately around the spider, you've got the exclusive secret societies, the most exclusive. Then you're coming out from the spider and you're hitting the secret societies we do know about. The Freemasons, the real inner core, not Bill and Joe down the local lodge. You're looking at the Knights Templar, the Knights of Malta, Opus Dei, the inner core of the Jesuit order. There's the Skull and Bones Society in America. They're legion. And we know they exist, unlike the ones immediately around the spider, but we don't know ultimately what they're doing. If you don't research it anyway, the population doesn't know. And then you come to a point on the web as you come out, which I call the cusp. And this is the point where the hidden part of the web, the secret society part of the web, meets the scene. And at that cusp, you've got organizations like the Bilderberg Group, the Council on Foreign Relations in America, the Trilateral Commission, the Club of Rome that was created in 1968 to specifically exploit the environment and environmental concerns to justify the centralization of global power. This whole global warming stuff has come out of that. And also at this cusp, you have this explosion now of think tanks and non-governmental organizations, many of which are funded by people like Soros. And their job is to take the agenda coming out from the hidden and to play it out in the scene through governments, government agencies, the banking system, corporations, Silicon Valley, the World Health Organization, the big pharma cartel, etc. And if you don't realize that this global cult web exists, then everything seems random. Organizations seem random. They don't seem connected. Situations seem random. They don't seem connected. They're dots. They're not connected dots, which is very simple the more you know to connect them. But the point is that this web means that at the inner core of the World Health Organization, it connects into the web. At the inner core of the Silicon Valley corporations, it connects into the web. At the inner core of the big pharma cartel, it connects into the web. At the inner core of the regulators who's supposed to protect us from big pharma, like the CDC and the FDA in America, and the MHRA in Britain, they connect into the web.
The whole basis of the manipulation is to divide us and is to get us to judge each other, to hate each other, to envy each other, to compete with each other.
It's to confuse people, especially the young, about their gender who weren't confused before. That's what it's about.
A lot of people don't carry cash anymore, and they're not grabbing credit cards either. Instead, they're using their smartphones.
A currency that wouldn't be cash, it would be merely electronic, for which there are fundamental implications for human freedom.
The United States is preparing for a war against Russia through Ukraine, and what they plan is to try to take Crimea back. The idea for this Third World War is to involve Russia and China against the West.